In this video, we're going to get started with Canvas quizzes. So navigate to the course where you want to build your quiz. And we always want to put assignments, quizzes, pages, anything in the associated correct unit module. So I'm going to navigate to my modules and build the quiz from here. Give your quiz a name. So maybe I'll call this Quick Quiz Shakespeare. You can put it in an assignment group, so I'll put it in quizzes. And now I'm going to add the item. So you'll see my quiz is here. It's not published. I don't want to publish it till I'm ready. To begin editing my quiz, I simply click on the title. And it tells me this quiz is unpublished, so I can start to make some of my changes. I'm going to start by pressing the Edit button. On this first tab, this Details tab, here's where you'll put your instructions. Using your notes, answer the questions related to Shakespeare's life and works. Okay, so there are my directions. If you have any particulars that you want to share with students, then you can put them there in the directions. I'm going to say what type of quiz this is. For me, this is going to be a graded quiz, but you can also use it as a survey, an ungraded survey, a practice quiz, whatever you'd like. You can choose to sync it to the SIS if you want it to sync automatically to PowerSchool. I don't like to do that. Here's an important one. Shuffle answers. So many of my students told me they've taken quizzes that teachers have made where they did not check this box. If you don't check this box, in the next video when we start building questions, you'll see that the answers always default to, let's say you're doing multiple choice, the first answer. And so students could just easily then go through and select the first choice in every question and then get hundreds on the quizzes because the teachers did not shuffle the answers. So make sure you do that. That'll randomize the answers so that the correct answer for question 1 may be C for one student, but A for another and B for another, because it's just going to randomly shuffle. If you want to set a time limit to your quiz, then you can do that by selecting this box and manually inputting how long you want students to have. So maybe this is just going to be half the block, 30 minutes. If you want to give students multiple attempts at the quizzes, you can do that. This would apply to all of your students, so you could let them take it however many times you want, maybe 3 times, something like that, and then PowerSchool would save the highest score, or maybe it would average all 3, whatever. If you want to do multiple attempts for individual students, that's in a later video. I'm going to uncheck this because my students are going to have one shot at this quiz. Here we go. Let students see their quiz responses. Incorrect questions will be marked in student feedback. By checking this box, as soon as students submit their quiz, they'll be able to see which questions they got wrong. If you don't want them to see that because maybe you have students taking the quiz later, you can always uncheck it. I can also set when I want students to see the correct answers. So maybe I want my students to see the correct answers. They're taking this quiz on Monday. I want them to see the correct answers on Friday. And then by the following Monday, I want those correct answers to disappear again. So that way over the weekend, they could see the right answers to any questions they got wrong. Maybe I'm going to reuse some of these questions in the final exam, so I don't want the correct answers constantly visible. You decide what's best for your students and your quiz. You also have the option to show students one question at a time. So as they finish questions, they advance through the quiz. I tend not to do this because if a student gets stuck, I don't want them fixating on one question. I want them to be able to see all the questions at one time. But again, that's your prerogative. If you want them to have an access code, you can set a password for the quiz, and that would work also. You also have the option for who you want to assign this quiz to. You can assign it to everybody in a section, or you can go back in and add specific students by typing their names. You can set a due date for your quiz, and you can set availability dates. So maybe I want to set my quiz to release on the 11th and to close on the 12th. So students can take it either the 11th or the 12th. It's completely up to you. Once you're done, you can save. And now we've set all of those permissions there. If we want to see what it would look like from a student's point of view, we can click the preview button, and this is what our instructions page will look like for our students. Notice they don't see any of those little permissions things that you just set that's private for you. When you're ready to start building questions, then you'll go over to this Questions tab. That's for another video. If you have any questions for me, please let me know, and good luck getting started with quizzes.